and the ranking member for having this important hearing, and I fully support a permanent reauthorization of SBIR and STTR. And I know, as Senator Shaheen has probably mentioned, it has these programs have a great New Hampshire tradition. When Senator Rudman really was the founder of this, because he was concerned about innovation and getting small businesses engaged in new ideas that could come to the fore in research and development, and giving those opportunities to have the government have the benefit of that. You know, Mr. Smith, as I look at the other committee that some of us serve on this panel, are the Armed Services Committee, and I serve as the chair of the Readiness Subcommittee. We've had numerous hearings on acquisition reform, and having seen the matrix for what it actually takes to get through to get a defense contract, as a small business, especially as we're trying to really engage on these particular programs, SBIR and STTR, I think it would be daunting for anyone. And so we're trying to undertake that in the Armed Services Committee to really make it a better, more efficient process, because I think we've proven that layers don't necessarily mean more accountability for taxpayers. They can just mean more paperwork as opposed to really focusing on accountability. So I would also add that any recommendations that you have in particular in your shop that you think would be helpful, many of us serve on both committees, and we could take those up not only in the Small Business Committee, but also in the Armed Services Committee. We are very focused on acquisition reform. And this is an area where we want to get things quickly, obviously, because this is opportunities to drive innovation in our security space. So if you can get back to us on that, that would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, ma'am, we'll work with you.
Appreciate it. I also wanted to follow up, Mr. Williams. In the 2014 Interagency Policy Committee's report to Congress on commercialization, it noted that SBA planned to start leveraging and expanding partnerships with high-growth stakeholders like incubators, accelerators, and clusters, trade associations, universities, by taking a lead in a train-of-trainers model. So can you give me an update on how that initiative is going, how effective it has been? And recently I visited an incubator, for example, in New Hampshire, and we've seen a lot of exciting growth in these incubators, and I think it's a great way for us to partner on making sure that those who are engaged with the incubators also know about the availability of SBIR and STTR.
So we're making progress in that area. One of the other things under my responsibility is the accelerator program within SBA. And so that's been 2 years. We've gotten $1 million this year, but we had 2.5, 4.5 in the last 2 years, and $1 million this year. What we do with that is, and it's really small seed dollars that we're just adding to existing accelerators. But the network of accelerators is well over 1,000 across the U.S. And one of our goals is so we provide a prize contest where we award $50,000 to what was 188 accelerators last year. Part of that then is to make them aware. So now they are a partner with SBA, and we have these other programs that we want to make sure they're aware of. SBICs, which is a loan program for businesses that are also under the OII portfolio, and then the SBIR and STTR program. So we have been spending a lot of resources developing our SBIR.gov, and in that tool, developing the train-the-trainer materials. And so I have a contract. So we have put out more materials already. We have our FAST awardees, which we've been funding at about $2 million a year, which is 20 individual state awards at $100,000 each, where the state provides a match. And those folks we have monthly calls with, and we try to share best practices and what materials are out there. So at first, we haven't had as much resources to develop the materials until just recently, where we got some of the 3% from HHS and SF gave us some dollars so we could build out the train-the-trainer stuff. But what we've been doing in the short term was to get individuals to share across states so that they would have that material. And accelerators and incubators are a really good sweet spot that, you know, SBA has kind of been focused on our SBDCs, but these are two other sources that really have a great potential, especially in the SBIR world.
Great. Just a quick follow-up also, as you're creating an interagency unified outreach plan, are you engaging groups like SCORE and the VSOs as we think about some of the, obviously the veteran-related groups as well that are focused on employment?
Yes, and they all work on the same floor as me, as I do.
Great.
So we work closely with them.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.